All right. I'm going to give it just a minute here. Just a minute so that YouTube can catch up. And what's up, Broncos Country? And how you doing, Orange and Blue crew? Welcome to the very first between mini camp and training camp episode of Nothing Rhymes with Orange and Blue podcast. I am so pumped to be here with you guys tonight. Tonight, we're going to keep it simple because there's not that much to talk about during this time of the year. We're going to break down the first 4 games of the season, our opinions. We're going to look at player matchups. We're going to look at storylines. We're going to just talk about the first 4 games, and we're just going to talk Broncos like we always do. We're also going to throw in a fun segment of the phrase is incomplete. It's going to be a blast. Hope you guys are ready. Welcome to the Nothing Rhymes with Orange and Blue podcast. Let's freaking go.
Smooth, the pins to chew, breaking down plays about to debut. Never pride in every view, nothing rhymes with orange and blue. Bright lights of my heart in our view. Nothing rhymes with orange and blue. Nothing rhymes with orange and blue. Nothing rhymes with orange and blue. From draft picks to game reviews, celebrating wins, analyzing the clues. Nothing rhymes with orange and blue. Nothing rhymes with orange and blue. No orange and blue.
Nothing rhymes with Orange and Blue podcast.
I declare.
What's up, Broncos Country? How you doing, Orange and Blue crew? Welcome to the first episode of Nothing Rhymes with Orange and Blue podcast between mandatory mini camp and training camp. We are about to have a long 6-week slog of nothing Broncos.
Oh my God!
I know, it's painful. I'm Johnny Baki, the Mile High Viking, and with me, as always, every single week, my cousin, my childhood best friend, my co-host, Jay, the Dreamweaver.
Yeah,
Weaver.
baby,
What's up,
yeah.
guys?
Oh, not a whole lot, sir. Coming off the cusp of Father's Day weekend. Hope you had a good Father's Day. Hope everybody out there, all the fathers out there, had a good Father's Day.
I had a really interesting Father's Day, actually. I was traveling back from Colorado to my home in Tennessee, and my kids decided they wanted to take me to the zoo in St. Louis, which, if you've never been to the St. Louis Zoo, it's the best zoo in the country. It's complete.
The Omaha Zoo has something to say about that.
Been there, done that, burned the T-shirt. Anyway, the St. Louis Zoo, but you have to pay to get into the Omaha Zoo.
That's true.
The St. Louis Zoo, the only thing you pay for is parking. After that, it's entrance into the zoo, stay all day. It's completely free. So, and it's an incredible zoo. It was a lot of fun, except for the fact that on my Father's Day, I had to break up a domestic assault and battery in the zoo. I'm not going to go into too much detail. I'm not going to use any names or anything, but I'm sitting there by the big cat enclosure with, they have the lions and the tigers and the cougars, which terrify me, and the leopards and all that. And all of a sudden I just hear this screaming and this cursing, and this dude is screaming in the face of this woman. And come to find out later that he's the father of one of her kids, and she was saying, no, you're not seeing your child today. I don't know why. Don't really care. It's not my business. But anyway, he's screaming, cursing. Next thing I know, he's grabbing one of those plastic swords that light up. Like the tube looks like it's like a lightsaber, but with like an animal head at the bottom. He grabs that thing out of her backpack when she turns her back on him, by the top and swings that giant animal head handle right into the side of her skull. And by the way, she's holding her child when this happened. So like at first I'm like hanging back because I got my kids with me too, you know. But then then he takes a couple swings, hits her in the face a few times. Then all the flowers to her, man. She got him good a couple times too. Knocked him down, got a few really solid punches right to him. But then he got back up, and I could tell it was going to get really, really bad. And so ended up I got involved. Maybe shouldn't have. I don't know, but I can't stand to see a man beating on a woman. And I'm sorry, that's just how I was raised. And so I intervened, and at the end of the day, he got arrested. And I'm a little sore. And I ended up having to stay overnight in St. Louis to talk to St. Louis PD the next morning to give my statement as to the course of events. So all in all, interesting Father's Day for me.
Yeah,
but
dear Lord.
Yeah, I couldn't stand there and watch it happen, especially with my kids witnessing it. You know what I mean? Like,
I get that. I get that.
The only thing about it that really bugs me is I don't think I wanted my children, at least not yet, to see what I was capable of that way.
Well, I mean,
so
it's Father's Day. My gosh, like, can't we all just get along at least on one day?
Yeah, no, apparently not.
I blame St. Louis. I've never heard great
Yeah.
things about St. Louis in general. For the
It's not a bad city.
What is it? The west side? Once you cross the bridge, is that the bad part? I forget what.
No, East
section?
St. Louis in Illinois. East St. Louis in Illinois is the dangerous part.
That's right. I knew it was one
Now,
side.
granted, that doesn't mean that problems can't cross the bridge over into the main city, St. Louis. It does happen. But it was just one of those things, man. So anyway, interesting Father's Day, and I hope you had a happy Father's Day with yours. Hopefully you kept your hands clean.
I did. Didn't do a whole lot. Went to church, just kind of chillaxed. It was good. But I did go to the College World Series, obviously Omaha stapled event throughout the year. So I got to go to a baseball game and went to the pool and just, a bunch of fun, summertime stuff. So it was a good week. Good week overall. Not bad.
Good, man. Good. I'm glad to hear it. And to all the other fathers out there, a big happy Father's Day, belated, from the Orange and Blue crew. We appreciate all of you and keep doing what you're doing, being good fathers and molding the next generation. Of course, if you're not raising your children to be Broncos fans, then obviously you're wrong. Yep. But other than that, keep doing what you guys are doing. All right, good, be good fathers out there. So thank you guys for joining us for tonight's show. It's going to be a fun one. Broncos suck. Comes in saying, well, boo Broncos. I'm guessing Boo Broncos just changed their name to Broncos Suck for this episode. All right, well, speaking of Father's Day, I don't know if your father raised you to be a nice person, but that's okay. Shy Vargas in the house asking, hey, Johnny, how can you watch all the Broncos games if you don't live in Colorado? Well, fun story, Shy. Except for two of us on the Orange and Blue Network, none of us live in Colorado. There's two members of the Orange and Blue Network of the what is it now? 10 of us currently. Yep. Only 2 of the 10 live in Colorado. The rest of us, we live all over the country in different places. Myself, I live in near Nashville, Tennessee. Myself and Isaiah. Jay lives in Omaha. Adon lives in Chicago. Let's see. Dak lives in Oregon. Rob lives in Utah. Ty lives in Pennsylvania. Like we're all over the place.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
That's kind of crazy. I never really thought about it.
As Paul Schaefer says it, YouTube TV, baby. Yep.
Let me just throw a couple more at you, Shy. We got Sports Surge, which is a great one. You've got Crack Streams. That's another really good one. These are all illegal, of course. So, you didn't hear anything.
Oh, hold on, Jay. We need to like bleep you out. Say it. Say it again, Jay. Say it again.
Sports Bird and Crack Streams.
Yeah.
Meth Streams as well as another subsidiary of Crack. All the good.
You just made me remember. Have you ever watched Tacoma PD or FD? Tacoma FD.
I have a little bit. The Super Trooper guys.
Yes, the Super Trooper guys is firemen. I just started watching it this last week for the first time, and it is one of the funniest shows I've ever watched in my life. And yeah, what you just said about like the meth stream or whatever. One of the firemen on the show, his last name is Crystal, Ike Crystal, and he's like teaching the chief to do something, and like one guy's trying to get him to do it one way, and then Ike Crystal's trying to get him to do it another way, and he's like, "I'm following his method. I'm following Ike's method." And he goes, "Yeah, I call it crystal meth." It just made me laugh. I love that show. But anyway, sorry, we kind of got off on a little tangent talking about, breaking up domestics on Father's Day and
crack
and meth and illegal stream sites and all that. But guys, welcome to the Nothing Rhymes the Orange and Blue podcast here on the Orange and Blue Network. Please, if you haven't already, or this is your very first time ever, please, we appreciate it if you would like, subscribe, share, and comment on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook. Check out the audio version of our podcast on all your favorite platforms. We're also partnered with the MHRT Network. So if you haven't already, go on over, like, subscribe, share, and comment on them as well. Check them out on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, even on Instagram. And guys, I'm going to say it this way. Make sure you ding that little notification bell because we got so many good shows. Check this out, right? You got us on Tuesday nights. We're the flagship podcast on this network, but we also have Orange and Blue Blitz currently during the off season, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And then during the season, or back when training camp starts up, it'll be Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. We got Broncos Bros debuting next Monday at 6 p.m. Then you got Broncos Talk on Wednesdays at 6 p.m. Viva Los Broncos on Fridays for all you Spanish speakers out there. We got a breaking news podcast. That's why you're going to want the notification bell, by the way. Breaking news coming out on the Fresh Squeeze. We also have the Get Buck Game Day show on game days during the season and the Buck Your Feelings post-game show right after every game during the season. Guys, you don't want to miss any of that, right? I mean, I'm serious. We got a lot of good content and more coming, hopefully. I'm working on some stuff right now. But anyway, guys, we appreciate you being with us. So does our sponsor. And the sponsor of tonight's show is Dubby Jitterless Energy Blend. You can see the link in the bio below. Go ahead and click that and go on over to dubby.gg. Dubby comes in a bunch of delicious flavors, right? It's absolutely awesome stuff. 2 cups of coffee worth of caffeine in every cup of Dubby. And it gives you the kick in the pants that you need to get your day started and to keep your day going. But you don't get the jitters or the crash later because Dubby has no sugar. It also has no calories, no maltodextrin, no fillers, no artificial colors. It is as natural as it gets with nothing but amino acids, B vitamins, and nootropics keeping you sharp throughout your day. And the caffeine in Dubby is derived directly from the coffee fruit. So it is as natural as it can be. It's wonderful stuff. Look at all these wonderful flavors. Jay and I swear by it. I use it every single day for my work day. It is great stuff. That's how you get yourself the dub, y'all. So punch in code NRWOB10 at the checkout, and you can make that dub even sweeter. NRWOB10 will get you 10% off your order at dubby.gg. Guys, we appreciate them for sponsoring us, and I promise you, you try it, you'll appreciate them just as much as we do. Now, I guess it's time to talk some sports because you told me. Because you told me to, Jay.
Just a real quick. Mr. Schaefer's got a recommendation. I cannot accept or decline that invitation of recommendation, but it's something to try out. Try it on for size.
I can do that. I'll puff a dub and drink Dubby.
It'd be rude not to.
An upper and a downer.
Yup, that's what we're all about. Keep the heart guessing.
Oh man, let's
Absolutely.
see. But Paul Schaefer kind of going back to what he was talking about. YouTube TV says I'm in California. And last year got the YouTube Sunday ticket for the first time, worth every penny. Yeah, I've done it 2 years in a row now, Paul, and I'm willing to pay that every single year. It is so good. The quality is fantastic, and you get to watch every game out of market game. So
It is nice
worth
to
it.
not fiddle with, illegal streams and do all that nonsense of ads and, it times out on you.
Pop-ups and
yeah.
And like that one that pops up, your system's at risk. Click
Absolutely.
here now.
The federal government is onto you.
Yeah.
Get ready for a knock at your door.
You need a VPN right now.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. No. I that's why I'm willing to pay for it, because I hate having to deal with all that.
Yep.
Plus, sometimes the streams, not only do they like time out on you, but they get all laggy, or they pixelate and all this stuff, and it's just like, dude, I just want to watch the game, man.
Yep. You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Yeah, it's worth paying for. Definitely. All right, so there's your answer, Shy. That's how I watch every single Broncos game every year. Is NFL Sunday Ticket on YouTube TV, and they are not a sponsor, but I will shamelessly plug them. I was sharing this with you before the show, Jay. Again, also not a sponsor, but if you guys haven't tried this stuff yet, holy cow. It's the Modelo Especial Chelada. I hadn't tried it until the other day, but man, it is just good old Modelo Especial, but it's got tomato juice, salt, and lime in it, and it is so delicious. It's like mixing a Modelo with a V8. It is delicious, and it is wonderful.
No, I'm a big Modelo person, so I need to get up on that. I need to try that. Might need to.
It's the red can. It's the red.
Interesting.
So yeah, definitely get in on that. It is awesome stuff. So what are we gonna do today? It's the off season now, like kind of like the real off season where guys aren't in the facility right now training. They're down in Cancun, they're in Maui, they're all over the country, just relaxing and getting a little bit of vacation for themselves. 6 weeks until training camp. So
I was gonna say, the latest I saw in Bronco player activity was Nathan McKinnon and Patrick Surtain together attending the Jelly Roll concert in Denver. So each of them got their jerseys and presented to Jelly Roll as the ambassadors of the the Ball Arena. So gotta love off season
Mile High.
Yep. Gotta love off season Twitter.
I do. I'm kind of jealous that they got to do that. I myself got, met Jelly Roll back in January by total accident at a Monster Jam event. What a guy. But what's funny, when I was driving, like I said, I was driving back from Colorado here to Tennessee over the weekend. I saw them. I saw their tour trucks. Post Malone and Jelly Roll's tour trucks, along with their buses, passed me going. They were headed westbound. I was headed eastbound on I-70, and I was like, man. But no, yeah, I saw that. I saw that on Twitter as well. That was pretty cool. I'm surprised Bo wasn't there.
Yeah.
I mean,
might be too a little risque for him. He seemed like a very I'm listening to what was the, oh man, I'm going to date myself, but was it the Newsboys that you were big on?
Yeah.
I
love the Newsboys.
That's right. I thought it was.
Yeah. I loved the Newsboys. I couldn't help it, man. They had great music and their concerts were a lot of fun. Now bear in mind, talking about the Newsboys, there's a lot of bad news out there right now regarding the Newsboys.
Oh, is that true? Is that true? Sorry, I didn't know.
No, it's fine. It's okay. What happened? Paul Schaefer says, "Jesus rock for Bo and Jesus rock for me as well, my friend."
Yep.
But no, it actually came out really recently. Michael Tate was the lead singer of the Newsboys for the last 15 years.
Yeah.
After he left DC Talk, and it actually came out very recently multiple allegations of sexual misconduct and multiple allegations of drug and alcohol use from the frontman of a Christian rock band.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
He actually released his own statement on the 15th regarding it all, and he did not deny any of it, but he did ask for forgiveness. He said that he lived a double life and that he was trying to make it better. That's why he left the band back in January, was to get help. And
Johnny, I was just dropping a mention name. I had no idea you were up to date on the comings and goings of Newsboys still. That's crazy.
Yeah, dude. Hey, I love the Newsboys, but I loved them, and I still do, and I always will. And the thing is, and Paul Schaefer says, "Oh, I gotta." He likes Taint. Dang it. Yeah. Yep. But when the Newsboys that you're talking about was the original Newsboys, like when we were kids, like the original ones, the all Australian band and all that, loved it. Yep. Paul Schaefer, it got dark fast. LOL.
Boy, sure did it. It sure did, Mr. Schaefer. But my God.
Yeah.
But hey, it's concert season, and the Broncos may or may not attend certain concerts. And here we are, I guess. But Johnny, I guess there's not really a whole lot of like football related news right now. I mean, that's why we're talking about Jelly Roll attendees. But I mean, do you have any notes worthy, I guess, of Bronco chatter?
Not a lot. Bo Nix, did you hear about his restaurant kind of thing?
No.
His tip?
No.
Okay.
Oh yes, yes. Okay, I did see that. No.
So just another wonder, Dave Glassman. I haven't met Jesus, but I would like to.
That's a full Glassman type of comment, right?
That is definitely. Hey, Dave. Hey, you want to talk Jesus, man? We'll talk Jesus. I am not ashamed. I am not. There's actually a Newsboys song called "Not Ashamed." I am not ashamed to.
You should have titled this whole show "Newsboys Updates" for all interested.
I love it. Jack Kenna saying, "I just popped in to give my respect, gentlemen. Got to head out for a Raiders show. Right, I don't know what I'm going to talk about on the Wild Wild West." Yeah, I don't know, buddy.
To talk about
there isn't, but have fun anyway, because we all know how much we love doing what we do. But no,
Mr. Kenna.
No, yeah. To finish my comment to Dave, if you want to talk Jesus, buddy, we'll talk Jesus. I love me some Jesus. But anyway, back to Bo at the restaurant. For those that didn't catch it on Twitter or whatever. Bo and his wife went out to dinner. I don't know the restaurant they went to. It wasn't part of the story.
Let's just say Shanahan's.
Yeah, maybe. But anyway, well, I couldn't have been. It couldn't have been, because the final bill was like $65.
Oh, definitely not Shanahan's. Then.
Definitely not Shanahan's. or Elway's. Or Elway's.
Yeah.
But anyway, Bo and his wife went out to dinner, and they flew under the radar. Nobody bothered them. That was I'm sure that was wonderful for them, getting to go out to dinner and not be bugged for autographs and pictures and all that. But at some point during the meal, from the sounds of it, they got to conversing with their waitress a little bit, who mentioned that, she's saving for nursing school and trying to make ends meet and all that all at the same time. At the end of the meal, Bo signed the check, and he and his wife got up and left. And the young waitress, and according to the story, her name is Kayla, unfolded the receipt to see that Bo had left her a $10,000 tip on a $65 bill. And basically with just a note that your dreams, something like your dreams are not far away. Hope this helps, things like that. What a guy. I mean, $10,000, even when you're making millions, $10,000 is still not a little amount of money for someone making millions. That's significant. We
got ourselves like a wholesome, leader as a quarterback. Like, everybody has a quarterback technically, but like, we have the prototypical personality of a quarterback that who you would want to lead your entire organization, be the face of the franchise in that classic term.
I mean, on top of being a great player, an all around good person.
Yep.
And like that's the difference to me. And I've said it so many times on our shows, Jay, how much someone's character matters to me. I know it doesn't matter to everybody. For some people, it's all about the game. And yes, yes, I want to see the Broncos win. I like seeing people of character on the Broncos, and that's character.
It's a representation of your franchise. Like, it is very comparable to other sports in that not every position is made equal. You can maybe have those type of, questionable personalities on, other skill set or, positions on the team. But like, quarterback is very unique and individual. It's like for a hockey team, having the C on your chest, on your sweater is a major deal. And that doesn't just come lightly just because you're the best player.
Even on a baseball team, being the pitcher.
It has nothing to do with, the skill set sometimes.
No.
Landy is a purebred born leader, good guy, good general human. We have a great captain in that. But there's
Nikola
a lot of
Jokic
teams that don't. True.
Nikola Jokic on the Nuggets. Yep. Very similar. And Dave says it here. I like rich people that are philanthropists. Yes, I do too. Although I'm going to say it a different way because Bo has used this word several times talking about his own situation. He has used the word blessed. I have been blessed.
Sure.
And, he has said that. And I think for him, looking at what he considers a blessing, he wants to make sure that he's not hogging the blessing. Dave says, Dave says occasionally you need an Aqib Talib or a Tony Romo.
No,
agreed.
Not, Bill Romanowski, I think, is who he means.
Okay. You're right. Bill Romanowski. Yeah, okay, I can see that. But
you need some cray on your team, and there's a position for that on a team. Like, you need it, like you said,
Dave, or a Lyle Alzado.
Ooh, yeah, dude.
Yeah, absolutely. But I think to be the leader of the team, like the undisputed leader, the one who, everything runs through, which is undoubtedly on the football team, generally speaking, the quarterback. Yep. And to be that and show that kind of, show that kind of paying it forward, giving a young lady who is trying to get her life, on the track she's going for, to toss her $10,000 and just say, here's towards your future. I've been blessed. My future is at least for right now is looking good. Here, how about, let me help you with yours. Mad respect for Bo. Mad love for that kind of gesture and that kind of kindness, and that kind of attitude. And I just wanted to bring that up. That's one of the little Broncos nuggets I've seen this week that I thought was worth mentioning. Yeah. Another nugget would be Sean Payton. I've got one on Sean Payton I'd like to talk about if you're
Go
game,
for it.
Jay. Dave, agreed. I don't want an a-hole as the leader.
No,
absolutely.
Or not even that, an ingenuous leader. I point to Russell Wilson as just such a fake facade in a lot of respects. I'm not saying Russell Wilson's not a good guy, because he very well could be a really good guy and like a nice guy. But like, just it's not coming off the same as Bo, right? I think everyone would agree that it just feels different, even if they do the exact same acts.
Yeah, no, I don't. I feel like Russ was trying to play to the fans, while Bo is just like, "Hey, fans, here, we're in this together," kind of thing.
Russ would have a camera crew for that 10K tip and be like, "All right, now ready, zoom in on this," as she gets the reaction of it. Like, it's just more of a like, ooh, kind of.
Yeah,
slimy.
Bo is like, I'm finished with my steak. I finish off my drink, push in my wife's chair behind her, and I'm gonna sign this check with $10,000 and walk out the door.
Grab myself a toothpick on the way out.
Yeah, you better. Maybe one of those Andes mints.
Ooh.
But
those are not after dinner mints. That's pretty top notch right there.
That is, man. That is. Dave says Peyton's a bit of an a-hole, and Russell Wilson is an actor.
I mean,
But
Peyton is kind of Sean Payton is an a-hole. Like, I'm
Oh,
sure
yeah.
if you met Sean Payton just in a general public sense, just some guy you saw at the bar that you
He'd
had
be
a chat
fine.
with for 5 seconds.
he'd be cool.
Yeah, I don't know. He's pretty
Maybe.
abrasive.
He can be very
Pretty
abrasive, but you know what? That doesn't, he is the guy who can lead the team to victory.
Absolutely.
From the side, he makes the plans. And D-Rock popping in. What's up, D-Rock?
Mr.
Good to
D-Rock.
see you, buddy. Here's to you. But I do want to talk about one thing about Sean Payton that popped up this week. And it was during the I believe it was during the Thursday post mini camp, last day of mini camp press conference.
Mm-hmm.
It got, and the reason I'm bringing this up is it shows why players love to play for him. Yes, he can be an asshole. Yes, he can, he can struggle with certain, what's the word I'm looking for? Decorum when dealing with media and people.
Fluff. He cannot get fluff in.
Yeah, he is not fluffy. He is not fluffy. But
he's prickly.
Players
kind of a
players
prick.
love to play for him. Players love to play for him for a multitude of reasons, but one of those reasons is how well he takes care of them.
Yep.
And that was on massive display during the press conference post Thursday's last day of minicamp practice, where someone I don't know who it was in the media asked him about Devon Vele's absence minicamp, and he basically told them that he was dealing with something, dealing with a minor injury. He'll be ready to go for training camp, and then he said, "That's all I'm going to say." Someone else in the media interjected, is like, "But Sean, does that mean he?" And he said, "I said that's it. I'm done. If I said that's it, that means that's it, and we're not talking about this anymore. Do you understand me?"
Dad is mad. Dad.
And
is
I was,
mad.
and I actually was like,
man, he
because
sets boundaries.
He does. And I, a lot of people might look at that and be like, "Wow, what a jerk." Me, I look at that as him protecting his player.
True.
Whatever's going on with Devon Vele, that's his business. It's not ours. Yes. Do we want to know? Do I want to know what was going on with Devon Vele? Especially because I kind of picked him as one of my as a breakout player for the year. Like, the guy that would solidify himself as wide receiver 2 on this team. Absolutely. I want to know, but medical, especially, that's somebody else's business. And I love that Sean Payton stepped up and was like, "Listen, guys, I said we're done. Don't ask me again." What do you think, Jay?
Yeah, I mean, okay, let's talk about this. Let's think about our last head coaches. Nate Hackett certainly wasn't doing that, right?
Didn't protect nobody.
Vance Joseph still probably can't do that to this day, but he was dubbed the leader of men. I would say Gary
was a good practice.
Gary Kubiak was a guy that could be a little prickly, but in a very Southern gentleman, polite, never going to offend a soul kind of person. But he was direct sometimes.
He was direct, but he was very, how do we say? I live in the South. He was very bless your heart about it.
Oh, yeah, very much so. If you could just do this for me, that'd be great.
But Sean's just like, "Shut up. We're done. Like, stop."
We haven't had a coach like Sean Payton since Mike Shanahan, because Mike Shanahan is that guy. Mike Shanahan will get in your face and he'll get that whole red face thing going where he looks like he's about to chop you in half. And I mean, personally, I miss that from a culture standpoint, because it just was not the same without a coach like that. So it's kind of nice and refreshing to have a hardcore guy again.
Hardcore who takes care of his guys.
Yeah.
Because abrasive or not, whatever you want to say, he's abrasive, whatever, right? But you can tell his players would follow him to the gates of hell.
Sure.
Without question.
He would.
I had a lot in the Army. I had a lot of really abrasive and really toxic leadership at times over the course of my Army career. But I'll tell you right now, I had a colonel on my first deployment who, that man he was like a lot taller than Sean Payton, because this colonel was like 6'7". He was enormous. I'm not going to say his name out of respect here on the show, But I swear to God that my colonel, if he walked in and said, "All right, boys, we're storming the gates of hell tomorrow, and none of us are coming back," I would have loaded up and followed him without a single thought.
Sure.
And that's how Sean is with these players. And I feel like I really appreciated seeing him tell the media, listen, I've said my piece about it. Don't ask again. He'll be back for training camp.
Yeah.
That's good for him.
It is. That's obviously what you want from a head coach of a young team as well. This is a very young green team that doesn't really know, probably have never had a coach like Sean Payton, honestly. See you, Mr. Glassman.
Good night, Dave.
You got to think the average college coach is not that way. Average high school coach is not that way.
No.
So it's a big culture change for a very young team. And I guess the only other, football coach that I can think of for the Broncos in that time, like I was pointing out earlier, John Fox. John Fox definitely wasn't that kind of guy.
Oh, gosh,
so,
no.
We haven't had that here for a long, long time.
John Fox was the kind of guy who'd walk on eggshells.
Absolutely. Like, good guy to go get a beer with, but you're not running out of the trenches for him.
Right. Update on the score of the Stanley Cup Finals. Florida, you got me to turn it on, Jay. Florida leading 3-2 in the series, which means that Edmonton is up for elimination. And we may just see the cup hoisted tonight. The Florida Panthers are up 2-0 with 5:27 left in the second.
Oh, Lord Stanley's Cup will make his appearance tonight. I have not missed a cup hoist since probably like 97, Johnny. It's been a long time where I see every single cup lifted, at least, even if it's not the Avalanche, obviously. It'll be a great night.
Speaking of, I finally found my Cale Makar Funko Pop.
Ooh.
Added it, put it in there with next to, my McKinnon and all my other Denver Funkos. D-Rock popping in the house saying, shout out to all the toxic ex-girlfriends. We all love you. No, I don't.
I hope they don't raise the cup. Screw you.
There's a reason that they're my exes. Let's put it that way.
Do they all live in Texas?
Speaking of, I got to give, I can't believe I haven't done this already. I got to give a massive shout out to my wife, who together we celebrated our 15th wedding anniversary on Thursday. So we have officially been married. We've been together for 17 years. We've been married for 15. Thank you. Thank you, Jay. Three beautiful sons and 15 years of marriage. We were in Colorado for it and went to the Interlaken PGA golf course and played 9 holes on the PGA course. I parred a par 4 on a PGA course.
Well, there you go.
Other holes I sucked at, but I was very proud to par on a par 4 on a PGA course. That was wonderful. And it was a wonderful anniversary experience because my wife and I both love to golf. So it was a great, great time. And I got to give her shout outs. Baby, I love you. And happy anniversary again. And thank you for sticking with me through all these years and, supporting me through all of my deployments, following me all over the country with the Army, and then now supporting me in my hobby and my love of Denver Broncos media. So big shout out and lots of love to my bride. Anyway,
there you go.
I'm good with that. I'm done.
Well, hi. I mean, hey, 15's a hallmark year. I mean, that's an important year. That's an important milestone. So congratulations. It was.
And man, we stayed at the Associated Resort with that golf course, the Omni, and man, they found out it was our anniversary, our 15th wedding anniversary. When we walked into our room, there was a bottle of champagne chilling in a bucket.
Nice. With
6 chocolate-covered strawberries, 3 macaroons, and a bar of chocolate with gold leaf lettering on it that said "Happy Anniversary" and a handwritten card that said "Mr. and Mrs. Baki." I was like, What?
I said that's pretty damn fancy. Did you have any animals made from your towels? Any formation things?
No, the towels were folded really nicely though, but they weren't animals. They were like clamshell, I think is what they call it.
Yep, the sprout. Sure.
Yeah. But no, it was a really fancy hotel. A lot of fun. And we really enjoyed our anniversary. So, and thank you guys in the chat. Paul Schaefer saying nice and noise, and D-Rock here to 15 years. Thank you, my friend. So now I guess we should talk Broncos, right? Some more Broncos. With not a whole lot to discuss right now, we've kind of gone over the few little nuggets of Broncos news from the week. I thought it prudent that we just kind of maybe split up the season a little bit while we wait for training camp to start. Split up the season into sections and just kind of talk about a few games every episode. So of course, naturally, start at the beginning. And so this week, let's talk week 1 against the Tennessee Titans. I think this is pretty. A lot of people.
Home opener.
It's home opener. We get to start the season at home this year, which is nice. Broncos with an opportunity, in my opinion, to start on a high note.
Oh yeah. This should be an easy dub, Johnny. Like this should. Oh yeah. This should be a walk on the park, an addition to your preseason. I will be sounding alarms if we lose to the Tennessee Titans week 1 at home.
Yeah, baby, yeah!
Rookie quarterback against the best defense in the league? Come on. On his very first NFL start?
I agree.
Come on.
Now, the last time the Broncos faced off with the Titans, you and I were in attendance, Jay.
Well, that's right. We were. 2022
in Nashville. It was me, you, and Isaiah, and my wife. And we had an absolute blast, but we lost 17-10.
Thanks, Russell Wilson.
Yeah. Now, Tennessee is coming off its worst season in probably almost 2 decades, I would say.
Number 1 overall pick. I mean, doesn't
get
worse than that.
They were 3-14 last season. They did make some upgrades, but I think you're right that the biggest storyline in this one, Jay, is absolutely the fact that Cam Ward will be taking on the Denver Broncos. As a rookie in his first NFL game, will be taking. We assume Cam Ward will be starting, right? I mean, they've got.
No way they do Levis. No way will Levis get to start over him. I wouldn't think. Who knows?
I wouldn't either, but he's still there. So
Mr. Mayo himself.
Hey,
Mayonnaise.
Mr. Mayonnaise.
Yeah. I don't know about all that.
But in any case, we assume that Cam Ward's going to be starting, and he's going to be taking in his very first NFL game, like you said, Jay, the best defense, and I say that confidently, the best defense in the NFL, baby. The Denver Broncos defense, which we have nicknamed. Oh, wait for it. There it is. Cell block D, baby.
Oh, wow.
Prepare to get locked down.
Oh, big stuff. Hey, there's Jahdae Barron. Oh, man.
Jahdae Barron, Talanoa Hufanga, Riley Moss, Pat Surtain, and Brandon Jones, baby.
Oh, Brandon Jones. Yeah, I mean, dude, this defense on paper, when you go down it, it's literally a nightmare for a rookie quarterback to have to go face on the road.
It's a nightmare for any quarterback to face.
We already have an advantage just in Denver being a home environment in and itself for a rookie quarterback, let alone against the defense that they're playing. I mean, if I was a Titans fan, this is worst case scenario for your franchise rookie quarterback to start his NFL experience.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, any thoughts on any other matchups in that game, Jay? I mean,
dude, their receiving core is very vanilla. So is their running game. I mean,
yep.
Tony Pollard and Tajay Spears, I believe, are their 2 running backs. And that doesn't do anything for me. That's at our level, if not a wash. Definitely not
Definitely
better.
not again. Not against our defensive line.
And these are like the strengths of Tennessee that I think of, and I just think, all right, just strength for strength. What does it look like? We should blow them out of the water. They were the worst team in football last year for a reason. They suck.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring it up real quick. Let's see what some of the Titans offseason additions were.
I was going to say, I'm pretty sure their offensive line is pretty sus and has been rebuilding in the rebuilding stage of that. So their trenches are not great, somewhat rough.
Yeah. So some key acquisitions for them is that they did get offensive tackle Dan Moore Jr.
Free agent.
Yeah, they got him in free agency. They also got Kevin Zeitler, the guard.
Ooh.
They got Draymond Jones.
Oh.
So Draymond Jones will be coming back against Denver in this game.
Interesting.
And then they also did add Xavier Woods at safety, and from the Broncos, Cody Barton.
Oh wow, I forgot about Cody Barton. Wow, Cody Barton.
Yeah, wow. You got like Owen Wilson. Yeah, wow. Wow.
Oh, Cody Barton. Doesn't that just jump off the page at you?
Yeah. Cody Barton. Cody Barton. Wow. No.
Good.
I don't know, man.
Yeah. I don't see any peak or like scary thing of their roster like whatsoever. When you go like position by position, their additions, like their current status is not. I mean, I wouldn't be happy if I was a Titans fan. You got a quarterback, but like the rest of your team is nothing. You have no depth. Like it's just a very not to use a marketing term and like catchy thing. It's not a sexy team. It doesn't have any personalities, things that stick out marketability wise. Like at least the Jaguars have a Travis Hunter and a Lawrence. Like it has some faces and whatnot. Like they were advertising the mailman. That was their leading candidate for a marketable player. The mail. Like, terrible,
sure.
Man.
I will. I do want to pull up this comment real quick by D-Rock. Wait, no animal-shaped towels. Was the toilet smoking? No. It was classy.
The best.
That hotel was classy, dude. Massive props. If you guys ever get a chance, if you like golf, if you like to go golfing, even if you're not good at it, because I promise you, I'm not good at it. If you like to go golfing and you get a chance to, when you go to Colorado, head down to Broomfield, right there near Flatirons Crossing Mall. Stay a night at the Omni Interlaken and play a round of golf on the Interlaken PGA course, dude. I highly recommend.
I got hockey swing for golf that has been pointed out to me so many people. I
have baseball swing. So I constantly shank it. I constantly shank the ball to the right.
I was in golf leagues that random strangers would ask me right out of the gate first thing, like, you play hockey? Like knew within a second of my golf swing that it was not going to be a fun day for them, chasing balls.
Right. Our good friend Shy popping in saying, I'm from Denver.
Dude, that deserves some hype in itself. Lucky
as that it does. And by the way, Shy, I cannot wait for you to have your game day segments this season with us on the Get Bucked Game Day show. I've already come up with a name for it, buddy. Tell me what you think. Shy's new segment that will be on the Game Day show is going to be called Get Shiped.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's going to be on T-shirts, Shy. Write that down.
Get shiped with Shy Vargas.
Yeah,
that's right. It's gonna happen, buddy. So, no, Jay and I are originally from the Denver area as well. We were born there, but we both moved away for Jay moved away with his family, and I met a woman in college and didn't go back. So, but he says he loves it. He loves it. So it's official. During the regular season, every game day show, there will be a segment of Shy Vargas hyping us all up called Get Shiped with Shy Vargas. Yep, it's happening. So back to the Titans game. It's an easy dub. We already said that this was going to be a quick and easy win for us, Jay, during our record prediction on the schedule release mega show. And there's just not that much about this team that scares me, to be honest.
Nope. This is a game you just got to get through without any injury. That's your goal. Like
Bo Lowry, baby. We got Bo Lowry.
Yep.
So I feel like when we talk about Bo Lowry, this soundbite can work for two different guys on our team.
I thought you said go, Bo, go.
So
nobody's got a double Bo t-shirt.
Yeah, we got. Hey, did you see that we have 8 players with 2-letter first names? JK, RJ.
Okay,
I don't know. I can't remember what they all were, but there was apparently 8 players on the Denver Broncos right now with 2-letter first names.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I was like, I have to look it up at some point again.
Huh.
I saw it this week.
PJ.
But yeah, PJ, RJ, JK. I mean, there's 3 right there, 3 of 8, apparently. So kind of interesting, huh?
Yeah, that is. Huh.
How about the fact, before we move on to the next game, how about the fact that J.K. Dobbins slipped a little something to your boy Damari for the number 27?
It doesn't bode well for Damari Mathis's future, in my opinion. I'm sure there's a mumbling after Barron was drafted of like, oh, well, if it's between Chris Abrams-Drain and myself, like, well, I'm gone, obviously. He's got to have realistic view to that. So it's goodbye, Damari Mathis. I hope he gets an opportunity with another team.
Number 27 will now be worn, as it has been all the way since college, by J.K. Dobbins. Did you see his? I
was just going to say again, and I reiterate, as the president of the Damari Mathis fan club, I shed a tear for that little excerpt we had to have. So that's it. Moving on from Damari Mathis news.
I can see it. It's glistening on your cheek right now.
Yep. I'll have to pick a new bestie, a new fave, once Damari's gone. It's like a Mr. Bronco for the Mr. Nugget. The guy on the Nuggets that's just Mr.
Are you gonna go with like one of the like super established dudes? Or are you gonna go with another obscure dude?
It'll be an obscure dude that's just my hero that like, oh man, if you get a shot, like if you got a shot, he would be the best.
Chris Abrams-Drain, baby, right? Chris Abrams-Drain.
That could be that guy. Someone gets hurt and then, Cad just goes nuts and like, oh wow, you're a Pro Bowler. Like, wow. If given the snaps, the volume, like, why couldn't he be?
With how much wow has been used in this episode, now I feel like I have to add an Owen Wilson soundbite to our
okay, so
our
it
soundboard.
needs to be the soundbite of oh wow, and then ... Newsboys. Bam. That's the episode.
We're back to that. Guys, we're gonna take like a 30-second break. We'll be right back with you here in just a minute. We'll just hang tight. We'll be right back. right, guys. I appreciate you holding it down with me for just a moment there. I had to go take care of something. Isaiah came up with that idea this week, Jay, of having a little break if you need it. Put up the graphic, throw on the music, and just break for just a minute if you need it. I had something to take care of something with one of the kids, so
that is okay. I was over here pretending to raise the cup for about 2 minutes at least. So doing that exercise. But I was just thinking basically we need a video that has the thing that gets underneath 3 cups and switches around in the live arena. Here's a little mental game to play while we're gone.
Yeah.
Cup 1, 2, or 3.
Yeah, right. Well, I don't think I'm really wanting to design something like that, but I get what you're saying. But anyway, I appreciate you guys bearing with me on that one. Okay, so why don't we move on to week 2, Jay? Week 2, we will be in attendance. You, me, Isaiah, and Adon will all be in Indianapolis for this game. So Orange and Blue crew, if you have a chance to get to Indy for the Broncos Colts game, make sure you let one of us know. Hit us up on X at Mile High Viking PO, at Dreamweaver 1014. The Bronco at Bronco Gentleman if you want to talk to Isaiah, or at a 6'10" Mexican if you want to let Adon know. But all 4 of us will be at that game, so we want to meet up with you, Orange and Blue.
Super excited. I hope to God, Johnny, we don't have to see a Joe Flacco game.
Oh God,
I will. Oh, not Joe Flacco. Jones.
Daniel Jones, baby.
Daniel Jones. Sorry, Daniel Jones game. I hope we don't have to see a Daniel Jones game. Is what I meant. That will be the most boring side of the ball we've seen in a long time. I feel like our defense will destroy him.
Oh, easily, and that's the thing, dude. I don't think that there's really anything super special, about the Colts quarterback room.
Not the quarter. Well, I don't, dude. So AR-15 is so good if he just he just has bad timing and bad instincts, but he's got all.
So he's not good.
He's got all the skills though. He can run crazily. He's got a massive arm. He has good accuracy, honestly, with his arm too. He just makes really dumb mistakes. He's just not mentally
2 seasons
a quarterback.
He's had 2 seasons to prove himself, and he's failed miserably. As an example, last season against the Denver Broncos, we picked him off twice. We held him to 44.7% passing. For only 172 yards. I mean, dude, he's not the guy. And let's be honest, Daniel Jones has been in the league a long time now. He's not the guy either.
Obviously not.
D-Rock
they
apparently
have talent. At least they have talent, though. I will be interested to see Mr. Warren, tight end.
I was going to say Tyler Warren will be on the field.
That'll be super fun to see.
Tyler Warren, the number 1 tight end taken off the board in the draft this year.
It's a big difference.
Or
number 2, Loveland went before him. Number 2.
Oh, that's right. He did.
Yep. Colson Loveland is going to explode as well on Chicago. Shout out to the Bears. Good for them.
Yep. But Warren had 104 passes for over 1,200 yards and 8 touchdowns in his senior season at Penn State. This could be the perfect first opportunity for us to truly see the ability of Talanoa Hufanga to cover, tight ends in the shallow.
Yeah. I mean, this definitely is the first game of that type of offense that actually has a tight end weapon over the middle. It's the preview to what we have to do against the Raiders for Brock Bowers. Unfortunately, we probably have the best tight end in our division, in Brock Bowers. I truly believe that. I think Brock Bowers is number 1 already.
I was going to say, honestly, I believe Brock Bowers is going to be the number 1 tight end in the NFL.
Yeah.
If he's it, you know what? If he's not already.
Yeah.
One season in, he was a candidate. I can't remember. Did he actually get Rookie of the Year? No, he did not get Rookie of the Year, but he was a candidate for Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, on a shitty offense, really bad offense. And man, if that guy got any sort of protection and didn't get double teamed, because who else did the Raiders have last year that was doing anything? So it'll be interesting. It'll be an interesting game. I really like the Colts matchup. I really do.
But I still believe the Broncos, as we did on our last schedule or record prediction, I still believe the Broncos walk away from this one with a dub and start the season 2-0.
I would agree. I would totally agree. I still think this is an easy W, but I think it'll be an interesting test on the road. That stadium's going to be bumping, because is that their home opener, or do they open week 1? Do you know that?
I think they open at home. No, 1. I think they open on the road. On the road.
I believe in a bump for home opener type of thing, and it's not any big game for the other person. You never know. That'll be an insane environment if that's true. But still, Broncos are going to win that game.
We're going to be there, so it's going to be an insane environment because we're there.
Yep.
So, I want to bring up this comment by D-Rock just a little bit ago. I just saw this earlier and I kind of forgot about it. Broncos signed a UFL cornerback. I mean, I mean, the cornerback room is so stacked right now. We'll see what happens. But, I mean, giving him a chance, it's 4 seasons in a row, I believe, now that the Broncos have signed a spring league player to their roster, and at least their off-season roster. It's what's his name? Mario Goodrich, who played corner for the Birmingham Stallions this year.
The PS2 of the UFL, probably the best corner that league has to offer. And just barely makes an NFL team. And I doubt he will, obviously, but
probably not. But they're giving him a shot.
Yeah, it's a body. It's a body for spring ball.
Camp bodies. Camp bodies are important.
Yeah, correct.
And the thing is, sometimes these dudes show up and show out, man. I mean, look at Alex Singleton. Alex Singleton came from the Canadian Football League. Yeah. So, I mean, sometimes it does happen. It's just, I mean, like I said, we're already pretty stacked at cornerback. I don't see him knocking any of our current guys. I don't see him knocking out Cad. Heck,
Mathis.
I was gonna say I wouldn't even see him knocking out Damari Mathis.
No.
Even though Damari Mathis probably knocked himself out.
The Damari Mathis crowd, we're not scared. Not scared.
Yeah, D-Rock's got another name there. Dondre Tillman. Yeah.
You hear great
another dude from the UFL.
Very explosive.
What a pickup he was for us. So, D-Rock says, "Am I the only one who wants to see Daniel Jones to break off a 30-yard run and fall face first? I need a little humor while drinking my race relations." Oh, I forgot all about your race relations drink, buddy.
True.
I love it.
It's the Seinfeld black and white cookie. Little black, little white. Can't have too much of one or the other.
Yeah.
Perfect mixture.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
All right.
More oh wows. More oh wows. Oh wow.
Oh wow. Wow.
Yep.
Oh God. My favorite character on Seinfeld was definitely George Costanza, though.
Oh yeah.
I loved George, and the episode with the shrinkage from the pool, and the woman walks in and starts to laugh. It was the water. And my favorite line from Costanza ever. So,
Larry David is a genius.
Yeah. So, all right. So we can move on now. We are then going to LA to take on the Los Angeles Chargers in week 3. This one's a bit of a toughie.
After getting swept last year, are we going to continue the losing streak against the Chargers?
I don't think so.
I think we are going to. This is going to be one of those draft swings where should we have taken Omar and Hampton, or are we were fine with Jay Barron? Because that I think might come to a head down the road here if Omari and Hampton becomes like the best running back in the NFL under a Harbaugh system, which is entirely possible. So like I feel like this is the first of many matchups between what he could provide to their offense for the coming years, because like he's built in 5 years, guaranteed pretty much to be there for 5 years because he's a first round draft pick.
True, but of course, but Justin Herbert is going to pass the ball too, and I would love to see Jahdae Barron go out there and ball in that game at nickel, taking away opportunities. Our secondary taking away opportunities in the air, because here's the thing: they are one of the most run heavy defenses or offenses in the NFL. Always have been. The Harbaugh brothers are notorious for that. Here's the thing: if we can take away their air game and force them to keep it on the ground, we're gonna exhaust their run game.
We will see. Early in the season, so you don't have the wear down effect. But man, that'll be a gut check of how far along have we actually come compared to the massacre in Buffalo, where we just got run over. And I guess that was kind of the theme. The one negative you can poke at the defense last year was down the stretch. Like, man, we got gashed in the running game quite a bit.
Sure.
Because we didn't have depth at linebacking, at defensive line. Like, these were we lacked.
We also didn't have a strong safety that could really shut down 100%. The middle of the field there.
Brandon Jones is doing everything. You're right.
Yeah. So we have those now. And I believe with Dre Greenlaw. Yeah. I believe with Dre Greenlaw and with Talanoa Hufanga in there, it'll allow Brandon Jones to roam a little bit more, and they'll be able to clog up those lanes a lot more than we had last year. It will be the first test for this defense against a strong run game.
Yep.
But again, we don't know what Omarion Hampton's going to be. We saw him in college. We don't know what he's going to look like in an NFL system. And I mean, and the other thing on the flip side, not only do we have a second round running back in RJ Harvey, who I think is going to be a lot more special than people give him credit for. But on top of it, we took their star running back from last season in J.K. Dobbins, and we have a 1-2 punch with those guys.
Yeah.
So
it works out for both, because even their number 2, Harris, Najee Harris from Pittsburgh, that came over in free agency, you could contest that he's just as good as J.K. Dobbins. So they didn't drop anything in that.
Honestly,
it'll be interesting to see. It'll be interesting.
With how good,
incredible 1-2 punch they have. Incredible.
Absolutely, and honestly, looking at it this way, the Chargers had just as good, if not slightly better than a defense than we did last season. I feel like we may have, because they were number 2 on the at the end of the season. Their defense was ranked number 2. We were ranked number 3. I feel like we, with our acquisitions in the offseason, we have leapfrogged them. I believe we are truly the number 1 defense in the NFL now. And as far as our offenses go, I think they're pretty evenly stacked. So this may be, this rivalry, even though there really has never truly been, except for the fact that it was division rivalry, there's never really truly been a rivalry between the Broncos and the Chargers. You know what I mean? Because let's be honest, it's never been we've never hated the Chargers quite as much as we hate the Chiefs, or quite as much as we hate the Raiders. Yeah. But right now, these two teams may be so evenly stacked that this will be like the most even games we'll see all season.
Well, Johnny, this might be a little premature, but I do, want to put it on the live airways just real quick here.
Oh, is it a hot take?
It is a hot take.
Send it.
I believe either the Chargers or the Broncos will finally win this division ahead of Kansas City. I think this is the year that finally changes, and I'm not confident to say it's going to be guaranteed Denver, because I truly think it could be the Chargers as well, because I think the Chargers are in for a very good year. That has nothing to do with us. That's not a knock on us. I just think both of our teams are going to be like top tier AFC teams.
Sure.
And so it's a game that could swing it all for home field advantage in the playoffs, which could be very crucial.
Now, that being said, I mean, and I'm agreeing with you wholeheartedly. I think the Chiefs get unseated this year, one way or the other, by either us or by the Chargers. I absolutely agree with you. Like I said, these teams, in my opinion, are probably two of the most evenly matched divisional rivals in the NFL.
Yep.
And it could go either way. Now, of course, I'm going to say, because we predicted this during our first, record prediction. And this is not our last, by the way. We're going to do another record prediction before the right around preseason time. But I had us winning this one. I had us taking it to them in LA and winning close, but winning. And I'm going to stick with that. What do you think?
See, I would have this for a loss, and I believe I didn't. I was not in attendance at this point in time in the record prediction. I don't believe.
Sure.
No, I think I was a little late. I was a little late to the game. So yeah, man, I'd probably have this as a loss. I think it's more likely that we beat them in Denver compared to in LA. But in the same breath, in LA pretty much is a home game.
Yeah.
Based on the fans that you usually see in LA. So I don't know.
You usually see a healthy balance of home and away fans in LA again for the Chargers.
Same thing for Vegas. Same thing when you see Las Vegas crowd. It's just a joke. Like, this is just a neutral ground, basically, for both teams.
It's a Super Bowl ground.
Yeah. Easy destination ground. Easy place to go.
Couple more comments here. We got Shy popping in. Did we know that the Broncos purchased some land
we didn't even talk about
6th Avenue? Yes, they've been purchasing land out by what was the old rail yard, right?
Correct. So it's just catty corner, basically just catty corner down about like a mile and a half from current grounds.
But it's
like catty corner to Meow Wolf, if you know where Meow Wolf is.
Oh, I know right where Meow Wolf is. Yep.
So it's just catty corner to that on the other side of the interstate. And that's going to be a grand place because they'll demolish the current stadium, and that will be just part of a running district that they will create up against the interstate right there on both sides. It's going to be incredible. Broncos Country should be excited. Staying downtown.
There's a lot of space at the old rail yards. It means a bigger stadium, a lot more. Hopefully they can get the parking. Hopefully they can get the parking situation for tailgates a little bit better.
Dude, use public transit. I guess at the end of the day, that's what I would say, because it's worth being downtown and it's worth the pain in the ass it would be for traffic to just like keep it down there. I was going to be furious if we were moving out to the airport or going South Tech Center, like pretty much to Castle Rock. Like there were a lot of talks of like open area, like true open area.
What was it, like Lone Pine, I think was one of the places people talked about?
Lone Tree down, just the middle of nowheres, with no infrastructure. So this is a huge win. I'm super excited to see this. This is best case scenario. Could have gone so much worse.
D-Rock coming in saying the drawbridge is down at the Kingdom Siege.
I declare.
Let's take it to Kansas City. Let's knock them out, punch them in the teeth, and just show them who daddy is now. Happy Father's Day.
Absolutely.
God, and I really wish I'd made a meme of that. Like a meme of Bo Nix with Pat Mahomes, Justin Herbert, and Geno Smith bent over his knee, with his hand raised for a spanking, saying, "Who's your daddy?"
The classic Happy Father's Day to all the teams we own social media post.
Yes.
I saw so many of those that I just rolled my eyes at. Like, come on, people. Can we not make like Father's Day jokes about your rival team? Like, so stupid and overplayed in my opinion. But, again, we're in the dead season. What else is there to do? There's no sports on, really. No good
No, there's not. Florida is up 3-0, Jay.
It's coming.
So.
It's coming, Rich. This one's for you, Rich.
Speaking of Richie Rich, the Broncos representative of the Wild Wild West podcast, Richie Richey from MHRT Network, popping in the house saying, "Good evening, all. What's up, Rich? It's good to see you, buddy. My former co-host on Broncos Talk once upon a time. Those were good times too.
Rich, I'd love to know who your hockey team is. Winnipeg? I don't know. Calgary? I don't know. It's been a long time, but yeah, I'm excited for the cup to get raised. It's a big deal, and I feel for the Canadians of like just the cup cannot get lifted in Canada for some reason. Like there's just bad juju.
D-Rock says go Sharks.
Oh, that's right. We knew that.
We knew that.
You've said that before, D-Rock. Go Sharks. I got nothing wrong with go Sharks.
No, there's nothing wrong with San Jose. Isaiah's an LA Kings fan.
And again, I'm pretty neutral with that team as well. Go Kings.
Yeah.
Sure. Go win the cup. It doesn't matter to me. Like,
Rich, the Canadian himself saying, meh, hockey's okay.
Are you kidding me, Rich? That is just blasphemy. Crazy.
Jay, not everybody almost went to college to play hockey like you.
Well, I love hockey and I live in Nebraska. And so, Rich,
I know.
Naturally, you should love hockey more than me, right? But to each their own.
Speaking of your little bit, he started hockey this week. How did he do?
Well, we're in training right now. He starts the IP program in 2 weeks, which is like the official evaluation to get into like house league and to be able to do the damn thing, where he has like a season for like 5.5 months for the year. So like,
how's his skating?
On a big boy team, huh? How's
his skating?
It's good. He has a hard time stopping. So he's a little Luis Mendoza.
That's the hardest. That's the hardest part of hockey. You tried, as I recall, in our childhood, you tried to teach me how to stop a million times, and I could never get it. And I would always eat shit and almost break my face.
Yeah, it's a mental thing, honestly, to trust your ankles not to break because you're putting them at such a weird angle and like just balancing your body quick like that. It's a very hard thing to teach, man. It takes forever to do it, but yeah, that's what my oldest is doing. He's in the zone right now, trying to learn how to hockey stop. So
there you go. Rich says something like 70% of the NHL is Canadian. He went to school with 3 NHL players.
That doesn't surprise me at all.
Not me. Doesn't surprise me even a little. D-Rock, mind blown, Rich, over your declaration that meh, hockey is okay. But moving on, we've got one last game to talk about for this episode, and that would be Week 4. Denver Broncos versus the Cincinnati Bengals. It's worthy of note that we had their number last season. However, they came back in overtime to win 30-24. Which was painful for us to watch, especially after that beautiful arced pass into the end zone by Bo Nix, caught by Marvin Mims, I believe it was, that came down with that one. And it was, to tie the game and send us into overtime. It was a thing of beauty. To lose that game sucked. So they were right behind us. They were chasing us for the playoffs. And they were 9-8 on the season, and we took it. So what do you think, Jay, of this game? I mean,
it's a different kind of game. So let me make a comparison. So if the Chargers game was the game to have a litmus test,
sure,
a true, test report card here of how far we've come as a defense. The Chargers was run defense, interior depth, linebacking, like being able to make a front and keep it. That was that game. This is a game that is to see if we corrected our boo-boos when playing them last year, in that, yeah, Jamar Chase, he's going to get locked down by PS2. That's all good. But T. Higgins ran a marathon over us, and it was a noticeable difference of depth in cornerback room that we lacked last year. And I know Riley Moss was hurt, and so it wasn't like full strength defense, but like that game, honestly, that's the game probably, George Payton looked at and was like, we got to draft in the cornerback room still. Like, that's still a position that we still could use a talent in. And the Bengals
and that's why when a player the caliber of Jahdae Barron fell to us, he was like, we'd be stupid not to.
With teams like Cincinnati in the conference that have multiple stars at wide receiver, that can do multiple things. Like, you have to be able to, have to play multiple people. Multiple different kinds of teams in the AFC. So that's going to be a Jahdae Barron game. Jahdae Barron or Riley Moss.
Jahdae Barron, Riley Moss, and Pat Surtain, and probably some Chris Abrams drain too, to be honest.
Maybe.
And you'll probably see a lot of Brandon Jones in that one as well. Because now we have a strong safety. Brandon Jones will be a little more free to do his thing at free safety. So, I think it'll be a different scenario for our secondary than it was last season against the X factor players like T. Higgins and Jamar Chase. I think we'll have a lot more weapons to throw at them and throw at them at one time. And I think it's going to help. I think it's really going to help.
We'll see. That'll be a true, like, how's the secondary looking? Like, we know Hufanga is going to be a hammer, but do we know if Hufanga is going to get burned over the top? Like, these are the different skill sets from some of these players that, like, we need to see the full identity of.
Sure.
I think it's just such a cool thing to have 2 weeks back to back here early in the season that are true tests of opposites of our defense, passing and running, true opposite like games like that.
Yeah. Now, we got to remember that the loss to Cincinnati last season stopped us at that moment from clinching the playoffs. We were this close. If we had won that game, playoffs would have been clinched, and we could have relaxed going up against Kansas City. It didn't work out that way. It's okay. Hindsight 2020, blah, blah, blah. But where we are now is we need to make a comeback. We need to come back and make a statement. It was a close game. It went into overtime, so it was obviously a close game. One thing that we can hang our hat on is that our defense is vastly superior to their defense. And we have I believe we have upgraded our offense. We have a good offense. We now have a tight end, a joker, if you will. Everybody's been calling Evan Ingram the Joker. So we have a joker. We have a run game. And I think it's going to change things a bit. It's going to be a matter of whose defense can stop whose offense in this one.
Yeah. Because, their offense is going to be good if healthy. Like on paper, they have a great offense. And offense. It's that's where their money has been spent. Everybody was talking about why they paid T. Higgins and Chase at the same time. They are 2A 1A wide receivers in the NFL.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's going to be a tough matchup.
Rich says it here. We were better D versus D last season too. Absolutely, that's what I'm saying is that we had better defense. We definitely had the better defense, and our defense only got better. Our offense has gotten better. Their defense is, I think they added a few pieces. I can look it up real quick.
I just think their offense was that much more superior to our offense last year in an overall sense. Like that's Joe Burrow in the meat of his career here. But we haven't even seen like the progression or the jump that Bo Nix could make here. So like I'm feeling pretty confident that even next year we might see a different Bo Nix in an offensive comparison to that game versus this year's game. just in Bo Nix's progression.
Now, I mean, and here's the thing: looking at their defense, right? We've already said that their defense was a joke in comparison to ours.
Oh.
They just let go of Jermaine Pratt, their star linebacker. He's gone. And then they let's see, who else did they add here?
I mean, granted, I don't know, but I don't think Barron has signed his rookie contract, but their rookie left and refuses to even be in the building.
Right?
Bigger, far big difference there.
That's the thing. You're right. Jahdae Barron hasn't signed his contract yet. He doesn't have to yet, but he has been at practice every single day, and he's excited to be there. He said that. He's just, I think they're still working out, dotting some T's and crossing some I's, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not seeing a whole lot of very substantial positive defensive changes to the Bengals.
No.
They continued to maintain pretty much what it is, maintain the offense that they had. They didn't add anybody special either. They added Samaj P. Ryan, former Denver Bronco, to the run game. But they really didn't add anybody super special to their offense. They really didn't add anybody super special to their defense. They more just focused on maintaining the team that they have.
Sure.
So
Richie pulls up, talking about running the ball and controlling clock and being like a possessional offense.
That's a great point.
This game. And
that's great.
I mean, point. It is because you already know the Joe Burrow train is coming, and that's going to be a productive offense. So you need to mitigate that by just.
Is it going to be Joe Burrow or is it going to be Slim Shady? Because I'm trying to remember who their quarterback is.
It could be. But I will say just one thing to that, Rich. The only thing I guess I'd say is that even though that may be true in that matchup, and that's what you should do as a team up against an offense like Joe Burrow, we're talking about Sean Payton, which is a guy that is allergic to running the ball at times and just can't help himself. And so the amount of times where you should have a grinded out running the ball kind of game, I don't foresee that in the Broncos offense in the future. Not saying we can't do it, but I'm saying we won't do it. And that's a good and a bad thing. Cause I enjoy the Bo Nix show out of shotgun and quick offense, but it's definitely not a ground and pound offense. And I don't know if I don't really consider that in Sean Payton. What do you think about that, Johnny? Do you think we have that in us?
I think we do. I'm going to disagree with you just slightly.
Okay.
I think Sean Payton is allergic to it when he doesn't have the personnel to execute it.
And he hasn't. He
now at least has two guys, if not three, possibly four, that he can rotate in and use. And I think that he will. Because I think Sean Payton has openly admitted to and shown now that he truly values Bo Nix's opinions and he respects his thoughts. Bo Nix has proven that he can lead this team in more than just taking play calls and slinging the ball. He can make play calls. He can change it up as he sees fit. He can call an audible here and there.
Sure.
And that being said, I think Sean Payton, because he had the same thing with Drew Brees once upon a time, where and so I think he'll trust Bo, and he'll want to take that little bit of that pressure off Bo too.
And Richie's bringing up past Payton running backs that have done very well, and it's not that he doesn't utilize the running back position. It's just that it's by committee, by design. And so all those running backs that are great, the reason they stuck out is because they got involved in the passing game. Other than Ingram, and Ingram was not a high volume running back.
No, but you know what? When
they don't ground and pound.
But if you look at the running backs we have at this very moment, especially the fact that apparently Jaleel McLaughlin has been showing out in mandatory mini camp. You look at the skill sets of our top, who we can probably predict and and stay are our top three running backs in RJ Harvey and J.K. Dobbins and Jaleel McLaughlin. If you actually look at their skill sets, they are very, very similar to the three-man punch of Reggie Bush, Ingram, and Darren Sproles.
Yeah.
And Sean Payton was incredibly successful with that trio.
Yeah. And it's extremely dynamic, and he does a whole different thing in the running back room than most offensive schemers. 100%. It's just it is not the traditional I formation
True.
offense that we typically think is in clock management offense. That's what I mean, I guess, in that we won't see things like that.
Yeah.
But you're right, Rich. Rich is totally right. That's the New England Patriot way. That's why Tom Brady was extremely successful forever. Throw a 2-yard hitch or a 2-yard out route, and what is the difference between that and a running game?
And don't forget that we now have a tight end that can play the shallow routes across, the shallow crossers and slants across the field.
100%.
So
Evan Ingram. Give me 8 yards, dude, and then turn around, and you got it.
Yep. It's going to be something special, man. I'm still going to go with this one as a dub. We predicted it. We predicted a dub on this one as well.
Sure.
For my side of things, I'm predicting 4-0 for the first 4 games. We've gone over the first 4 games for this in this episode. I predict 4-0. You predicted 3-1 with the Chargers.
Yep.
We'll see. We will see who is right and who is dead. I mean, wrong.
Dead wrong. You're wrong.
But it's it's going to be an interesting start to the season. I personally believe we will not get our first loss of the season until week 5 when we take on the reigning Super Bowl champions.
Super excited for that game.
I am super excited for that game. It might, if I could afford to, it might be one of the away games I would try to get to in my very first time up to Philadelphia. For no other reason than to go to that game and to eat an actual Philly cheesesteak.
Get yourself a cheesesteak. Oh yeah. I've actually never been to Philly. That's on my list as well.
Hey, D-Rock asks it. So are we really truly going to run the damn ball this season? Well, I wore this hat for a reason, bud.
Hey, I hope. I would love that. It's just might not be in the cards for other people that make the decisions.
Well, we'll see.
We will see.
In the words of our illustrious Hall of Famer Steve Atwater, we'll see. But we actually had a lot more to talk about than I think we thought we did, and we didn't even get to a segment tonight, and that's fine. It was fun. This was a great episode. A lot of information. Hopefully we get some other little nuggets throughout the week that we can talk about next Tuesday. But even so, next Tuesday, we will be back here on the Nothing Rhymes Orange and Blue podcast, going through games 5 through, weeks 5 through 8. It's going to be a good time. Guys, if you haven't already, or if this is your very first time here, please, excuse me, I'm sorry, the beer is coming back on me right now. If this is your first time or you haven't already, please like, subscribe, share, and comment over on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. Check out the audio version of our podcast wherever you listen to all your favorites. Make sure you ding that little notification bell so that you can get notifications when awesome shows like the Breaking News podcast, The Fresh Squeeze, goes live. Also, don't forget that on the Orange and Blue Network, we have the Orange and Blue Blitz Monday, Wednesday, Friday until training camp at 11 a.m. And once training camp starts, Monday through Friday. Broncos Bros makes its official debut with Dak and George next Monday at 6 p.m. Our show, of course, will be next Tuesday at 7 p.m. We'll go over weeks 5 through 8 of the season. Don't miss that. Wednesdays at 6 p.m. is Broncos Talk with Adon and Bronco Libre. And then again, Adon and Bronco Libre will hold it down on Fridays with the Spanish-speaking Viva los Broncos at 6 p.m. Don't forget that during the season, we also have the Get Bucked Game Day show and the Buck Your Feelings post-game show each and every game day. And as we made sure to highlight earlier, there will be the new segment on the Get Buck Game Day show every single week with Get Shiped with Shy Vargas, where he hypes us up before the game. It's going to be a blast. We are also partnered with the MHRT Network, so if you haven't already, like, subscribe, share, and comment over on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, even on Instagram for the MHRT Network. This has been a blast. I can't wait to get back with you guys next week. Jay, as always, thank you for joining me for another fun episode. The Cup's going to get hoisted, dude. It is 4-0 Florida right now.
In a matter of 3 minutes from my clock here, 3:34 on the clock.
Yeah.
The Cup gets
4-0. Florida is going to hoist the Cup tonight. So you go enjoy that, cuz I love you. I appreciate you. And Broncos Country, we love and appreciate you, Orange and Blue crew. So thank you for joining us. We will see you next Tuesday on another episode of the Nothing Rhymes with Orange and Blue podcast. That being said, mile high salute and go Broncos!
Orange and blue, we're here for you. Talking Broncos all day through. No stopping us, we're on the loose. Come join the crew, no bad news. Podcast vibes so fresh and true. Nothing rhymes with orange and blue. Catching up on all that we knew. And play, let the episodes accrue. Nothing rhymes.